What are the character traits and personality traits that you're seeing as a pattern amongst people that are financially irresponsible?
Personality traits, I don't know. I feel like we see a wide range of that. I think definitely just a clear... People are very ignorant to personal finances, just as I was, just as I'm sure we all were at some point before we became educated on things. And you end up in the situation before you become enlightened.
But you don't think it's like an impulsive personality trait, or...
It's actually a good question.
Or maybe
I do try to get
carelessness.
I do try to get to the bottom of their situation. It's a little hard. I'm like, why are you doing this? And not a lot of people can give good answers, and I try to dissect that. Remember, when people are coming in, though, we're often seeing a lot of the after effects of past decisions. So I can't see exactly what they're doing in that moment. What we can definitely see for people who are overspending instead of paying off debt, those kind of people, you can see that it's either lack of care, or addictive personalities, kind of like even my own with certain things and stuff like that, where they just like, they feel like they can't stop eating out and excuses are being made. So I think some of that when it comes to people who are continuing their bad behavior when they're on the show.
So what's the path to getting on track? What do you recommend usually for people?
So
step by step.
We lay out their debt. We figure out what the minimum monthly payments are. We add them up. Then we get what their budget is with their rent. Some of the stuff they can't control because they're already in it. Sure, we can maybe downgrade eventually, but okay, that is what it is. Your debt is this. I put them on a grocery budget that's can be healthily done, but is also limiting. It just essentially involves weekly meal prepping instead of like cooking fresh, pre-prepared meals every day. It's going to be more meal prepping and then warming up. And then basically no fun except for a few unique situations. No paid for fun. Go have fun. Sometimes increasing income by getting a second job. So once we create what a potential income could be plus a potential budget, we then lay out the best way to get out of the debt. Sometimes that's a snowball method by doing the smallest debt to the largest debt. Sometimes it's the avalanche method by having the largest interest rate to the smallest interest rate. It really depends on their situation and their mentality around it. If you can tell they're going to have a hard time making through it, snowball makes sense from the emotional standpoint because they start seeing they're making progress. You pay off that small debt relatively easily, but all of a sudden you have a win, so you start paying off more. Avalanche, I like for people you can tell are a little more fired up, disciplined, because mathematically, avalanche method, you pay less over time. So we figure out the best method to do that, but first we usually get them to save up a 1 month emergency fund, whatever their budget was, we get 1 month. Sometimes if they have kids, multiple kids, 2 months, because if anything happens, we've also had people on the show who have followed the babysit. I love Dave Ramsey. We're going to collaborate with them. I've been invited on the show like twice. Yeah. I just travel anxiety. But the $1,000 thing, and I get his logic. He's defended it a lot, especially recently, even though it hasn't been updated, and he's explained why. We've had people on the show, especially early in the show, who did the $1,000 to get out of debt. They started making progress on the debt. Then an emergency happened, and there's basically no emergency that's less than $1,000. Then they ended up in a worse situation than they were before they even saved up the $1,000. So I'm like, okay, let's make sure if anything happens, you can survive for a month while you scour for income sources. Or if you have a kid, just to make up for extra risk because you're taking care of little ones, okay, let's have 2 months emergency fund. Then we just beat that debt down. And then from there, it depends on their age. So 50, 30, 20 is a good standard just for people to start a budget on. 50% on needs, 30% on wants, 20% on investing. But if someone's just getting out of debt, getting a fully funded emergency fund, you got to get a fully funded emergency fund, obviously, first. Once you get out of debt, if someone's starting at 50 and they have $0, they basically got to start investing 50% of their income if they're going to try to retire mid-60s, maybe even 70. So it depends on the age. But so whatever their budget allocation is going to be after that point depends where they are in retirement. Because what I really try to stress on the show, I just want people to be able to retire, whether that's they're spending their pile of money to zero by the time they die, or they're leaving something left over for someone else, passing on money. That's up to them and the avenue that they want to save in order to get there, how much they want to save in order to get that pile. What I just really try to stress is that when parents are choosing, specifically parents, are choosing fund spending over paying off debt and investing, they are putting that on their kids to be morally responsible to take care of their parent when they retire and have no money.
That seems like a cultural thing, though. I do see some cultures where that's the norm. That's expected, that the kids are going to take care of their elders in retirement.
Which is okay. I would personally have no issue with taking care of my parents. But I think it being in the choice of the kids would be better than it being put upon the kids.
I agree.
So if you have chosen to blow all your money, go into a bunch of debt, you make it to 70, something happens, you can't work, who knows what Social Security is going to be like at that point, then, okay, I have no money to survive. I don't think I'm going to let mom and dad die on the street.
Yeah.
So...
Right. I mean, that's up to the parents and the kids, but it's important to make sure that the parents are aware that they are putting that pressure on the kids.
Yes.
Because a lot of them could just be living financially irresponsibly
Yeah.
and not really understanding that, hey, eventually down the line, this will be on your kids.
Oh, again, there's lots of ignorance, and ignorance is okay. That you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So that's why, we try to tell them.
Do you ever have people question whether or not you're qualified to give them advice?
I've had interviews where people ask that or people get upset. But then I'm very clear that we don't talk about different investment vehicles. That's usually what you're licensed to talk about.
Right.
If you need a specific license to say, hey, if you make $100 a month, you shouldn't spend $120 on fast food, honestly, fuck off. That's pretty basic stuff. And I think that's very important for people to hear about. And okay, even if people are upset that, sure, there's no CPA and I'm telling someone they shouldn't spend more money than they make, I don't care that little hate that a couple people might give, because we get thousands and thousands and thousands of people reaching out saying, yo, in the comment section, email, social media, whatever, yo, I've paid off my debt because of this channel.
Yeah.
And that is everything. Dude, I don't even care right now. I know right now I could back out of all my stocks, my personal residence, and get everything into the cash flowing type properties that I have up in Michigan, and I could generate $10,000-ish a month. I could do that and do this show for free, because the biggest reward is the progress that people make. It's so hype.
Yeah.
It's so hype when people turn their lives around. It's just crazy. It's so exciting.
Why not go for the certified financial advisor license?
At this point, I just don't feel like it's worth my time.
Sure.
Cool. It would be cool to talk people through investing and stuff like that. And I have my own opinions on investing. I do my own investing.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it's worth my time. And also, I think where the average American is, it's more beneficial to help the people that are in the dire straits than sit down with someone and be like, okay, sure, you have 43% of your investment portfolio in the S&P 500, but maybe let's do 45% instead, or something like that. I think it's going to be more beneficial to help someone learn how to budget and stop fucking around.
I agree. I think that's the foundation of being good with finances is budgeting. And what I tell all of my friends that come to me, because they know I am somewhat in the YouTube finance industry, or I'm somewhat related. They would say, "Oh, Jack, how do I get good with money? What do you recommend I invest in?" And I always just say you just have to be aware, conscious, and intentional of money in general. If you want to learn how to be good with money, you have to just be conscious of money. What is money? What does money do for you? What do you do for money? Where is your money going? Be aware of your relationship with money, and that is this strongest foundation that you can have to being financially free or secure.
Yeah. And another thing, honestly, again, because I don't do this for clout, I hate, as I said at the beginning, I honestly hate my social media presence. I don't like being known. It's weird. I don't like it. If people are oh, okay, I've heard enough bad stories of people I want to learn how to invest more. Money guys are great. I love them. I'm friends with them. They're coming down here. Watch them, support them. They're good. I'm totally okay. Take a few weeks off my videos, learn some stuff from them. Totally good. I'm not doing this for clout. I'm doing it to help people. So that's totally chill. So I don't think I need to talk about investing, because people like them exist, and they are so good at what they do, and they're very educational.
Life insurance is one of those things that makes sense for a lot of people out there, but most people just put it off because it feels complicated, expensive, or time-consuming, but it doesn't have to be, thanks to our sponsor, Fabric.
Fabric by Gerber Life is term life insurance that you can get done today. It's made for busy parents like you. It's all online. It's on your schedule, right from your couch. You could be covered in under 10 minutes with no health exam required.
If you have kids, and especially if you're young and healthy, the time to lock in a low rate is now. And even if you have life insurance through your employer, it may not offer you enough protection for your family, and it usually does not follow you if you leave your job. Fabric offers flexible, high-quality policies that fit your family and your budget, including options like $1 million in coverage for less than $1 a day.
Fabric is partnered with Gerber Life, trusted by millions of families for over 50 years. There's no risk, and they even have a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can cancel at any time. Fabric also has free digital wills, tools to invest in your kids' future, and more, all right from your phone.
Join the thousands of parents who trust Fabric to protect their family. Apply today in just minutes at meetfabric.com/ICHclips.
Again, that's meetfabric.com/ICHclips. MEET fabric.com/ICHclips. The link is also down below in the description. Enjoy.